guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video we are going to take a close look at the all famous RetroStation 14K. The RetroStation comes in different versions. As you can see over here, we're going to get the 4K and the 8K edition, and of course with different Android operating systems. So RetroStation has nothing to do with PlayStation or the PlayStation 5, and it's just basically an Android box with Emulation on it. So it's an Android box, but how does this work and what are you going to get? That is what we're going to find out in this video. So let's take a close look at the specifications at the back. But let's do a quick overview of the specifications when you're looking at the older and the newer model. The older model is more like the Super Console X, comes with the S905 chipset. That has also an older Android version 7 with a quad-core CPU and a very basic old-school GPU inside. Most of the time it's a Mali 450, if I'm saying it correctly. In combination we have some video playback with 4K. The 4K, I just need to point out that they have nothing to do with the games itself. It's more like what kind of signal it supports when you're running this on an Android in combination with some video files. That's what we're going to get. Of course we're going to get the manual. You can see like this selling these controllers separately. You can also use it in Bluetooth mode in combination with a phone. So if you're interested, you can also get yourself the controller separately. So the controller is completely different, let's say quality level, than when you're comparing them with the cheap PlayStation 2 knockoffs I've reviewed here on the channel. It comes with a built-in battery, give you a couple of hours of playtime. Nice, let's say trigger buttons, good high quality. Shoulder buttons, they feel very nice. The D-pad is clickish, but I can tell you like this D-pad is very responsive. I've tried it before. Analog sticks feel very nice. Select start, like the rubbery select start we can see with different controls in the past. And the ABHY, like a very nice high quality controller. And they got some shapes over here that gives us quite comfortable. The controller's got a very nice size, so I think it will fit in every hand. I've shown you before, like having this, I would say upgrade slash with piece of plastic that we can put on it. So if you like this, you can play it with the controller in this way. And of course, including a cable for charging it. Time for the wicked nerdy time. Chipset S905X3. It is in quad core that is running on 1.90 GHz. The Mali G31 GPU that has in total 2 GB of DDR3. Then we're having internally 16 GB that we can use for Android, and the SD card is 128 GB. That's of course with the Emulation, so we can use that part for adding some new games if there's still some room left. Dual boot system, so this means you can just use this thing like an Android box, have all the functionalities, but if you want, we can take a close look later at the Android version. Right, we're going to get the input for the DC or the power supply, optical out, HDMI out, Ethernet connection, AV out and IR connection. But take consideration the AV out doesn't always work if you want to put it in a thing like say an arcade machine with a CRT or just a regular CRT monitor. So over here we're going to get a USB 3.0 port, and USB 2.0 port, and of course the card slot. And let's pull it out. So basically this is what's going to be happening with this device. When you're booting it up, it will boot into the SD card. And I must say that he's even having his own card, like RetroStation 120 GB. Okay, I must say that is kind of fancy. And when you plug in the power supply, it will instantly boot up into Android, of course, when you also remove the SD card, what I told you before. So it's just basically an X96 Max Plus. You can get this thing on AliExpress for less, but in consideration you need to buy yourself an SD card and need to reconfigure Emulation. I will make a separate tutorial there if you're interested in it, but you can do it very cheaply yourself. But yeah, if you want to mess around with it, you can do so. But after a couple of minutes, it will boot up into the Android when you of course remove the SD card. So take consideration, some of these boxes are rooted. We will look into this later on in a different video because I want to focus on the retro part. But let's plug in back the SD card, let's boot it up and let's see what we're going to get and what is this little me machine capable of running when it comes to retro games. The boot up sequence of the RetroStation part will, I think it will take up a couple of minutes, but you will be introduced by a couple of intros and an intro video, and then it will load up the information. So we're ready to play. So let's take a close look at the RetroStation layout. So when booted up, this is the menu what you're going to get. So what is this device capable of? So when you're looking at Emulation, because this is just the software that it was running on, Emulation has a lot of potential and a lot of development in the last couple of years. We can play a lot of old school stuff like ColecoVision, Commodore 64, you name it, it can be run. But I'm personally more interested what is it capable of when running to the high-end stuff. So there's where we're going to get a mixed performance. I already know that because I've reviewed a couple of these boxes. But this is the S905X3 and that means that we're going to get more juice like with the Super Console X in general. So we slightly will get to see some better performance here and there. So this image itself is a RetroStation image. I don't know if he grabbed it from the internet and made it himself or did some modifications. I don't know for sure. But in the end you can see it has a lot of potential, but especially when it comes to Sega Saturn, Sega Dreamcast, Naomi, Atomus Wave, I'm curious how it will run, and also PlayStation Portable, because a lot of cheap devices nowadays have problems with these. First off, let's start with this, because a lot of systems did have issues with this system. Take consideration the S905 chip, there are so many different versions out there. I can still hear some minor slowdowns, but the performance in general is way better than I've seen before with most of these systems nowadays. And also that happens sometimes when you're trying to play a game. I just wanted to give it a second try. Try a different one, just to see what happens. Also for the performance, but then it will crash. Alright, so next up, let's try to play this game. But I just wanted to give you an idea like how this will work when it comes to Sega Saturn. You can see that we've got quite a good performance even for a low-end box, and that surprised me to be honest. But I would not be surprised that we're going to get a lot of mixed performance, simply because this is a super demanding system. Alright, so next up, Sega Dreamcast. And with the S905X3 chip in combination with a better emulator like Red Dream, we have so much better performance than we have seen before. When I go into the arcade part, you can see that this system runs the games very well. Of course you will always find a glitch or another problem, but in general it's got an amazing performance. When we're looking at PlayStation Portable, now we're going to hit the ceiling with what this device is capable of. So when you're having a Darius boost, it runs very well. A lot of games will be playable, but if you want to play in God of War, the really demanding games, here you can find that this system struggles big time. So take consideration, if you want to play PlayStation Portable and more demanding systems, you just need to have more juice. And the same thing applies to N64. It will be like a mixed performance. A Bug Bumble will run just fine. By the way, if you never tried this game, I love it. I played it so much back in the day and I still play it on my original N64. At the RetroStation 40K, it's just okay. Up to PlayStation 1 there will not be an issue, but when you're looking at the higher end stuff, PlayStation Portable will be mixed bag in combination with N64. PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, GameCube, Wii, just forget about it, you need a beefy PC for that at least to get those running on the full speed. Sega Naomi and Dreamcast, Sega Saturn, it seems to be we're going to get a mixed performance, but a lot of games are playable. The system itself comes with dual boot. Maybe we can talk about it later on in a different video. But the controllers, I like them. I want to thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. Hit the little bell, become on the Wicked family. And I will see you in the next video.